There it is. I really fucking care. Hey Lisa, how you doing? How's your day going? How's your night going? I just tried to help my friend, but it didn't work. It's always some bullshit, man. I tried to hook him up with some PayPal shit, and I told him in Bermuda PayPal is a lot different because it's linked to your card, and it's like a restriction on there from doing things. So he's a little upset. But I just sent him another message and see if I can help him out in that way. But I don't know. Sometimes spirit has a way of making sure you help the right people or certain things happen a certain way. So I don't know. I feel sorry for him. I want to help him, but hopefully he listens to my message and might do what I told him to do. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, the guy returned the money because it won't work. I already told these guys they don't. Nobody. I swear. Sometimes people think that I'm like, "Hey, Sophie, how you doing, sweet?" Sometimes people like, cause he. I mean, we've known each other for a couple months now. Me and this guy, right? We've done business and everything's been successful. So I do trust him, you know. And he's trying to like go through PayPal to go to Cash App to come back to him, right? And I told him that that's gonna be a fucking shit show. And I said, I don't have like any other source. Even on here, it's the same thing. I don't have anything else but PayPal. And I can't take my PayPal balance and put it in my bank account. It don't work that way because I'm not in the US and I'm not in Canada. If you're in Bermuda, it will not work. So I'm trying to tell him this, right? And then I told him, right, because it's linked to your credit card, right? If you do like a transfer and then you do a return, it's like the credit card doesn't return that shit right away. Like it's gonna it's weird how it works. But I told him. So then when I try to send it to him, it won't work because it's already like zapped the card and said, "Hey, look, there's something fishy going on here. There's been an action and a reaction." So then it retards everything, right? So I told him just now that there ain't nothing I can really do for you. And then there's like an option on there that says friends and family. And then it says goods and services. The only thing I option I have is to send as goods and services. And then you put in the actual column, right? You put in the thing like the little note thing, the note column. It says, and I always put for my friend, thanks, a gift for my friend. So that way they don't have to pay tax on it or some shit like that, right? So I told him that I do not have that option. It doesn't give me that option because for Bermuda, you won't have that option. It's different for everyone. So I said, look, check to see if you have that option. So he says, yes, I have that option. So then I went to send him some money and it won't work on my end now. So then I said, look, I don't know what more to do for you, bro. So I have to wait until like he's just gonna have to find another way for something. I don't know. But it sucks sometimes because I wish I had other apps where I can, exchange money with people and stuff like that. It'll be a lot easier. It's the same thing with Amazon. You can only pay Amazon through your credit card. You can't use PayPal, you can't use like Cash App and all that bullshit. So there's some places where you just can't use that form of payment. The only good thing about super chats that I make on here, the money I make on here goes straight to my account. So at the end of the month, I get money, whatever I make on here in that month, it goes straight in my account, which is great. So there's no like, and there's an $8 fee that they take $8 every month from me to have that transaction into my account. So they're all making money. All these people are making money. The banks are making money off these transfers. Um, the PayPal's making money off the transfers you do to people. It's a bunch of bullshit. You just get fucked over by all these fees and percentages. And if I'm in the United States and you're in the United States and we do a transactions through friends and families, there's no fees. See? But that's why they won't do it for Bermuda because you're in another country. So you have to transfer your money, your what is it called? Your currency into American and then go to someone else that costs money. See, they always get you, man. That's why I don't have that option. I've already told many people, listen, I'm not bullshitting you. And I even took a screenshot and said, here, bro, look, I'm not bullshitting you, bro. I would gladly give you, the money, no problem. But I just can't, I always feel like I have to prove myself to everybody so they won't think that I'm lying or something. And here I am, I'm the one doing the deed. But he didn't seem that way. He was just upset that it didn't work. I was like, look, bro, I can't even help you. I tried my fucking best, bro. But I feel bad that I can't really help him out. I wish I could, but I just can't. It won't fucking work. And there's some people I send PayPal to or send me PayPal, and it's no problem. It's like perfect. Nothing wrong. So, I'm a little upset that I can't, completely help him 100%. And he's upset that it's not working out for him. So I'm going to wait till he messaged me back. I gave him another option. I gave him one more option. So maybe he'll take it. I don't know. Hey, Kimberly, how you doing? I'm doing good, Sophie. Oh, it's good. Just trying to help out a friend on PayPal with some stuff, but it didn't work. It backfired. But, it's life. And the weird thing is I asked, Spirit if it'll work, and it said no. So I guess that's my sign right there to be like, yeah, no. Yeah, you're right, Lisa, because I asked my cards and it said no, that, it's not going to work. So, and they're right. It didn't work. Spirit knows best, sweetheart. That's how it rolls. That's how it goes. I kind of knew it weren't going to happen anyway because it won't work that way. Everybody tries to tell me shit that I already know. But, I can't. Well, what am I supposed to do? So I just go through the process. Prove myself, and like sometimes it's just not good enough. Hey, Starlight, how are you, sweetie? So, like, I guess it was meant to be because before I dealt with the person, I pulled cards and it said it wasn't going to happen. And I was just like, oh, well, I guess it ain't going to happen. I guess they were right. I don't know. Sometimes I really wish I can help people, like, more. But sometimes living here doesn't allow me to do that, which sucks. You're good, Starlight? That's good. Glad to hear. Kimberly, you say you're feeling a little down tonight. I'm sorry to hear that. We have those days. I'm a little upset. I'm not like upset, but I'm kind of feeling down now that I can't. I tried to help my friend, but it didn't work. So I try to help him out with a little loan through PayPal, but it won't work because PayPal is fucking annoying. And they have restrictions and stupid dumbass things. And so I tried to help him, but it backfired. But at the end of the day, I gave him another option, so maybe he can use that option. I don't know. So I have no idea. Yeah, I look at it that way, but I don't want to look at it that way, because this guy's helped me out, and I've dealt with. Well, here he is right now. Look at that. He's voice messaged me. So let me just pause. I'm just gonna put it on mute. All right, cool. So he came up with a plan. So all right, we're good to go. Hey, Shakima, yo yo. Oh, he just came up with a different plan. So that's fine with me. He seems a bit down, but I know what he's trying to do. Like I said, he's trying to sort things out and he needed some help. I tried helping him, it wouldn't work. So what can I do? At least I tried. He knows he's okay though. He's not blaming me or anything. You know, he says he's gonna talk to the guy and see how it can work it out. So we'll see. We'll see how it all pans out. Hopefully, Spirit helps him too. I'm sure. You know, he's not a bad person or anything like that. So yeah, exactly, Starlight. I agree. It'll all work out the way it's meant to be. You know, at the end of the day, I don't mind helping out people because he helped me out too. So he didn't have to. So it's all good. Like, I appreciate it. I appreciate him and stuff. So it's all good. What's up, Shakima? You good? Well, that's the thing. Like, you know, like I met him, I trusted him. I sent him money to get me some music. He delivered. He gave me the music I wanted. Every time I asked him to get me music, or I asked him to um, do something for me, he does it right away. He's a good person, so I told him, I said, look, I'll help you. Like, once this whole PayPal thing gets sorted the fuck out, then we'll deal with it. But until then, you can do whatever you want to do. Like, you can take whatever and just do what you gotta do. So then he came up with another solution. So I was like, well, great minds think alike. I have to ask him what his sign is. But yeah, it's all gonna work out. Spirit's gonna allow me to help him because spirits allowed him to help me. Spirits, allowed me to help him, vice versa. So I feel like I found a good friend, and you know, I want to help him, but it's just sometimes you can't. You have to wait, or you have to wait for some other solution. You know, it's all good. Like it's fucked up, but whatever. Kimberly, you said the communication's getting worse. I feel a storm is coming, but I don't know. I feel like I'm just here. Well, try to avoid all, bad communication. Try to avoid everything you can. Try to avoid conflict and just live your life, Kimberly. That's all you can do. You can change your life. You can sort out your life. You just have to do it. You can't just like sit back and just wait for things to get better. You have to make it better. When all fails, it's your turn to do what you got to do. Yeah, I mean the PayPal thing is stupid because like um I tried to send him some money, right? And it went he wanted me to send it to his friend's account. So I told him that's gonna be a problem if this person's never received money from me. You got me? When you send it to a new person, then then it's gonna be a problem. But he didn't listen to me. He didn't. I said, look, I'd rather send it to him. No, 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 just send it to the guy. I'm like, all right. You think you know PayPal better than me? All right, no problem. I just did whatever he wanted me to do, and it backfired on him. So now he probably feels like an idiot, which I think he does. But he just like, I told him, look, we'll sort it out eventually. So anyway, hey Christy, how are you, shorty? You good? So then I told him, I said, you know, so anyway, the guy that I sent the money to, his friend, he's had to refund the money back to me because it didn't work. Because it said it was a hold on it. And then he tells me that I did it wrong. I should have put friends and family. I said, bro, I don't have that option. My option is only goods and services. Oh, but you got to look on it. I said, look, bro, I'm in Bermuda. It don't work that way. Only if you're American, it's going to work that way. It won't work that way any other way. Trust me. I've been doing this for years. I have a lot of problems with PayPal throughout the years. I know. So then he sent the money back. So then I tried to send it to my friend that I always send it to, which is the guy I'm talking about. Then a big red square comes up and says, you have to contact your bank now because you've tried to, use PayPal through the credit card too many times. You've resent, it says now you got to contact your bank. So there's probably a hold on my card now because of that bullshit. So I'm like, here we go again. Me telling people how shit works, and then they're telling me, no, no, it's fine. You got to do this and you got to do that, and then now you fucked yourself. You should have just listened to me from day one. How many times do I tell people on here, if you listen to me, you'll be all right. Let me do the thinking. And when people say, oh no, Mark, it's this way, that way, I said, okay, no problem. I'll do whatever you want. My client's the same way. He called me yesterday. Oh, Mark, it's this way. I said, okay, whatever you say. Don't fucking listen to me. I've only been in the world for 49 years of my life. I don't know anything. You're going to tell me something about something I already know. Okay, cool. No problem, bro. And then they're like, oh, yeah, you were right. Yeah, I heard that many times. Don't listen to me. I'm some dumbass. So because this guy didn't listen to me, it fucked everything up. So whatever, not my problem. Life goes on. All good. Leaving church from helping with a concert and still going on, but I'm tired. Oh shit. Cool. like I said, I'm not a know-it-all, but if I know I'm right about something, I'm gonna stick with it. And if you go against what I tell you and something goes wrong, and then you come back to me and say, I should have listened to you, and that's your fault, right? Not mine. Don't blame me. Some people say, oh, but you should have really, really told me. I'm like, I fucking did tell you. You think I'm gonna keep repeating myself and begging you to listen to me? Come on now. Don't blame me for your own stupidity for not listening to me. Anyway, long story short, now he has to talk to the guy in a different way. So you know, so he told me that he's gonna deal with the guy and see if he can hold off until further notice. So I told him, I said, well, bro, I told you should listen to me the first time. I should have sent it to you, not the other person. But no, nobody listens to Mark. So now if I want to use my PayPal for something, you know, which I won't because it's the weekend, I don't really need to buy anything or get anything with my PayPal. It's fine. So I have, he's gonna probably have to wait till Monday. Yeah, but whatever, not my problem. I tried helping you. Yeah, a lot of people don't put their hands up for ownership or accountability anymore these days. They really don't. You know, it's sad, but whatever. I feel like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel weird when I help someone, and like I always have a feeling after I help them that something's gonna happen, or it's gonna backfire on me and shit. And usually, like, half the time it does. I always have this saying in back of my mind, like, sometimes you help the wrong people at the right time. And sometimes you help the wrong people, the right people at the wrong time. Vice versa, you know what I mean? So I think that it's just a matter of, are you gonna say no? Are you gonna risk it? And sometimes when a person does you favors and you do favors back, you always feel obligated to give them another favor in return, even if their favor is bigger than your favor. But then again, do you really think that your favor is bigger than theirs, or you think theirs is bigger than yours? And even if it is, who cares? Multiple favors can add up to one big favor, right? So it's very hard to analyze sometimes, or to, like, take that all into consideration and say, hey, I can do this favor. It's not going to affect me in a big way, but I know I'm going to impact this person's life if I do this favor for them. So, like, it's always a constant battle in your mind thinking about whether or not you're doing this favor, because there's so many bad people in the world, right? That you feel like you're gonna get scammed, or you feel like this person lining you up for that fuckery. So it's kind of like it's a really big risk and task dealing with people sometimes, because you never really know who your true friends are sometimes, or you really don't know if this person's really gonna fuck you over at the end. Hey Gala, how you doing? Howdy. Howdy, howdy. You good? So I know everybody goes through it. Everybody obviously goes through, helping somebody, regretting it, helping somebody and benefiting. You know, I'm not the type of person to ask for favors too many times. But if I do ask for a favor, somebody will probably do it for me because they know it's genuine, and they know that I'll, like, obviously give the favor in return, which I always do. I always feel obligated to do that sometimes, you know. So I think that's like something that we all learn lessons to and have to figure out eventually. Unfortunately, if it's a bad situation, obviously. You're good, chilling. That's good. You hate it when people take advantage. That's the situation that I'm in. Well, when that situation happens, you have to look at yourself and say, I put myself in this situation. And then you say, but how did I get to this point? When did I really think that it was going to change? Or when did I think this person was going to like do this to me? Or, there's so many obstacles and scenarios that you go through when you deal with people who take advantage of you. But a lot of us allow it to happen. You see what I mean? So if we take accountability for our mistakes for allowing it to happen, then things can obviously change, right? Or you look at things differently after that because you're like, you know what? I fucked up. This person took advantage of me and I allowed it to happen again. So it's very unfortunate that that happens sometimes. But I don't think there's anybody in the world who hasn't been taken advantage of in some type of way, whether it's money, love, career, work. You know, it's like, what the fuck, you know? Well, Starlight, that's the thing, My auntie always said love is blind and deaf because we're blind to it and we don't want to hear nobody say that who we should love and who we should not love and who we should go to and go not go to. We make our own choices. Somebody can sit there and say to you blue in the face like I told this guy earlier. I said I don't think that's gonna work, bro. Oh yeah, man, go ahead, man, do it, man. Be fine. Like, I'm like, all right, whatever you say, you know. So, it's I mean, like I said, I find myself in those predicaments myself. People are like, no, Mark, don't do it. That's why earlier when I was gonna send this money through PayPal through my friend to a different friend of his, I was like, I don't really want to do that, but if he trusts this person, then fine. So then it didn't go through, and it was on hold. Then the person had to refund the shit back to me, so that retards that PayPal system. And then it all backfired because you didn't want me to do it like I usually do, which is give it to you. So you know what, bro? What do you want me to do? So at the end of the day, we all make bad choices. You went back to an ex, it didn't work after, we told you not to do it. But it's your choice. You said, nah, I'm gonna do it because, but see, that's why I tell people, believe, if you believe 100%, right? If you believe 100% in spirit and God, and you don't doubt any of your intuition, you don't doubt any messages you get, you don't doubt any cards you pull for somebody, you don't doubt any, like, images or feelings in your heart and your mind. If you don't doubt that, then that's when things get better for you, because you're not doubting what God's putting into your brain and into your mind and into your life and spirit, co-creating with you. If you doubt that, or you doubt somebody telling you something that is true but you go against it, there's only one person to blame: you. And that's why I always tell everyone, you don't have to forgive somebody. All you got to do is forgive yourself, because you dealt with that person and you knew you shouldn't doubt. You shouldn't have dealt with them. So you are at fault. And when you take that super accountability for your fuck up that you made, then it makes you feel better at the end of the day. Trust me, it will. Because if you genuinely take that accountability and say, you know what, it's my fault, and you say it out loud to yourself, you know what, you dumbass, you should have never did that. Well, you should have never gave that person the time of day. You should have never gave that person money. You should have never did this. You should have never did that. You see what I'm saying? So if you don't, if you take accountability for your mistakes, it's better than not taking accountability for your mistakes. Because when you don't take accountability for your mistakes, then you're just letting the devil know that, hey, come bring some more shit into my life so I don't take accountability and keep moving on. See what I'm saying? So if you don't take accountability, then the devil says, okay, let me give you some more non accountability situations, and you're going to think that you're always right. But if you take accountability and you look for forgiving yourself for dealing with the situations you put yourself into, because you are the only one that can get your own forgiveness. You see what I'm saying? You're the only one that can fix your own life. Your life can only be fixed by you. Well, that's the thing, Starlight. Sometimes you got to go through some bullshit to wake you up. You know, sometimes you really, really seriously have to go through bullshit. And recently, I made a choice to go back into DJing, and ever since I've been back into DJing, I realized that why the fuck did you get back into this shit? Look at all these idiots you're dealing with. Look at all the bullshit you got to go through. Look how much you have to chase down people to get information or to get something for you, and then they give you a runaround. Now that you made a friend, now they want to, you know, get money, or they want to do this, they want to do that, they want to make you an investor. They want you to invest in their, their productions and shit. And that's the situation I found myself in today, where my friend wants me to invest in one of the things that he's doing, and I have total confidence in him, and I have these feelings inside of me that I love to see another person try to make their life better, or fight the odds. And I really feel like this person is like me. I compare him to myself because he's younger than me, but like I want to help him because I feel like no one helped me when I was in his situation. And I feel like if I help him, I feel like I'm going to have a friend for life. You know what I mean? And he always like, when I ask him to get me something, he'll get it. When I ask him that I want something specifically, he'll do it. He never says like fuck you, or I can't do that. He never says no to me. So I feel like I don't want to say no to him. So I feel like I want friends like that, even though he's asking a big favor. You see? But if I take a risk, I can actually make money off this whole thing if I invest into him. Because I really do have confidence in him. And I feel like my judgments in people are pretty good. But you never know. But I don't feel any, you know, devilish behavior with him, because if that was the case, he would have been fucked me over a long time ago. So I don't think he's trying to fuck me over. I think he just wants me to help him invest. And then if he makes it, he can always, give me my investment back and some. So I like to help people who are always being knocked down. And recently I saw him get knocked down twice. And I said, fuck, this guy reminds me of me. In the music industry, like I always felt like people were trying to knock me off my ladder because I was always rising to the top. So, and then I said to myself what I just said in here just now, how the devil's trying to not allow you to help godly like people and people like you, right? So then God's trying to say, no, help him more, because if you help him, things are going to look better for you. You already know you should help him because you took the initiative to help him anyway. And why would he call you to ask for your investment help? Because he trusts you, and he knows that this is the internet. So if I don't get that investment back or something happens, I'm gonna blast you all over the internet. People are gonna listen to me because they trust me, you know? So he wouldn't do that, you know? I don't feel like he'll ever disrespect me like that. And if he does, oh well, I learned my lesson and I have to take accountability for investing in bullshit. But I don't see that because he's already improved that the investment's been good. So he's trying to get me in on the investment, which is great. I respect him for that. So he hasn't had much luck with people trying to help, just like me. I wouldn't have that luck, you know. So I look at it as, hey, you know, maybe God's trying to put us together because we're both in the same boat. And I'll be honest, I like him very much. He's a good friend. I haven't known him for too long, but he's made me happy with the things he's done for me. He's done a lot. He's done a good bit of favors for me, and he's got me everything I want music wise, you know. So I feel like maybe he said, you know what? Maybe let me see what I can get from Mark. Let me see if Mark's going to be trustworthy. If I ask him for this investment, will he do it? And I haven't really invested into too many things, but I would love to invest into what he's doing. So the investment didn't really go through today because he didn't listen to me. But maybe now he's going to be like, let me listen to Mark next time. Oh, shit. So, yeah, that's how it is. But, it's all good. You know, he was cool about it. He had another solution. But at the end of the day, I want to help people. And if I can help them in any way, I will. But it didn't work out today because that other person was involved, like you said, Starlight. That other person, you know. Yeah. Thank you, Starlight. I appreciate your kind words, but remember, I'm just somebody that gives advice and tries to help people. You got to do the rest. So if we co-create together, we can make things happen. I always feel like we always need people to. We need each other. Together is better, is what I always say. So if you have people in your life that help you, then life gets better. And that's just the way it is. I don't need a trophy or a fucking uh reward or anything like that. You know, I just want to be respected and I want to be, when I need something, I want somebody to help me too. So I feel like the more I've helped this guy, the more he's helped me, you know? Like he's gone out of his way to help me sometimes. So I guess that's why he asked me to help him invest in this situation. And I'm the type of person I won't look for anything in return, because that's how I am. But I want to see him be successful, And it's so weird because the past 2 weeks, I watched him go through adversity. I watched people disrespect him online. And it's because he's very talented. He's super good at DJing. He's really, really good. Like he reminds me of me, but just different. He's got like a different style, but he's very good. Like, and he reminds me of what I went through and how I am as well in that world. How I went through so much bullshit because I was good, and I see him going through it. So it's like spirit must have said, because it takes a lot of balls to call somebody you've only known for a couple months, but you click, right? And I feel like he had a lot of balls, and he was like, hey, look, man, I really need your help. Like, if you want to help me, if you don't, it's cool. Like, but you know, if you want to help me invest into this project, I would be grateful. And I was like, yeah, bro, I'll help you. That's fine. Like, I don't mind helping you, bro, because I believe in you. Like, I feel like you got the talent and you know what you're doing. You've already proved that to me millions of times. I really feel like, he's all about that life, you know. So I feel like God put me and him together for a reason. Yeah. And I just told my sister yesterday that I really like him a lot and I really think he's a good person and I would like to help him more. And then bang, he called me today to ask me to invest in his project. And I was like, sure, bro, you know? So I feel like today was a little setback, but he was fine with it. He explained himself afterwards and stuff. He was cool. So, you know, there's always tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. I feel that way too, Starlight. I really do. I feel like that I'm meant to help him and he was meant to help me. And he always you know, he laughs a lot and he like jokes a lot like me. And I swear he must be an Aquarius, but I'm not sure if he is or not. I've never asked him, personal things like that. But I'm gonna ask him when his birthday is because I feel like he's like, he must be an Aquarius because he definitely acts like one. But yeah, jealousy is very sad. Jealousy is sad. I watched this poor guy put on a DJ competition, and then he got disrespected by these DJs this week Monday, and then these same bastards that disrespected him are put on another competition on the same day at the same time. And I sent him the flyer, and he goes, "Yeah, bro, I know. I saw it." I said, that's just like fucked up behavior. Like you can see these people are fucked up and they don't want to see me succeed. And I said, you know what, bro? Like just like believe in God and believe God has a purpose for you and God they got those devilish bastards out of the competition for a reason. So, he made a speech the other day on his TikTok and he was talking about how God changed his life and how he looks at life differently because his brother passed away and things like that. So, like, I listen to him and I see a little bit of me in him. So, you know, that's why I want to help him now more than ever. And I feel like, he's a good person. So, why not? I might as well help him. He's helped me. So, it's like you scratch my back, I scratch yours type of thing. So, yeah, I'll let you guys know how the investment pans out, but I believe in him, and I got back into music for a reason, I guess, which I know. So it makes me happy, and I get to invest in something that can be big. I know he's on TikTok. It's not so much like support. It's more of he has tons of followers and tons of people. But you know what? I appreciate you saying that, started. But you know what I mean is like the more people you have, right? The more haters you have, And I always tell people I don't really want a lot of people in here. People always know that I don't want a lot of people in here watching me and shit and praising too much and it goes backwards. There's always that one person, right? So that's the thing. It's not so much the support, it's more of those few envious people trying to get under his skin. And I had a word with him and he agreed with me and I feel like he's on the right track. He's like, that's what I'm saying. Like when it doesn't matter how much support you have in a way, because it's more of what am I gonna do to make my haters even madder? And what am I gonna do when the devil's coming for me? I'm gonna show the devil that hey, you did this dumb shit to me, but now I'm gonna use God's power to come back at you 100 million times, and so that way you end up leaving me alone. And I feel like that's what he's done, and I'm impressed by how he went against the adversity he faced in the last 5 days. I didn't even think he was gonna do what he did. He was like really quiet, didn't really say too much, and then all of a sudden, poof, Like he came out with this more shit to people to hate him on. And I was like, fuck, what a smart guy. And I was like, this guy reminds me of me when I was playing music. Like everybody hated on me because I was really good. And when I won competitions, it was worse. It's like him. He came out like, talking shit, and like he was like, being funny. And then he was talking about his accolades and what he's done. And then people got even more jealous of him. And I said to him, I said, look, man, keep doing that shit. Keep making your haters hate you even more, so much that they leave you alone. Because that's what happened with me. I always make my haters hate me even more, you know? And another thing is, it doesn't matter what you do. Psychic, DJ, you can be the best person at your job. You can be very skilled. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. You could be a beautiful looking person and still get hated on no matter what. Hatred is gonna always be in these people's minds and hearts. So we just have to keep going and keep changing the way we feel. So instead of saying, I can't believe this bastard did this to me, and you get all mad and you're like, "Arr," no, fuck that shit. What you got to do is you come out the next minute and the next hour and the next day and the next week, and you keep doing your best and keep showing people like what you said and what you did to me, it don't matter. See, that's why I made that card in my deck. Laugh at your haters and give them more to hate on. So by them hating you and being envious and jealous of you, they think that they're putting conflict into your life, that you've gotten to them. Their energy got to you, and you're mad, and you're gonna be on here like fuck you. That's what they want. They want you to be like, yeah, I got them. But if you don't show that, and you show them like you're nobody, and you're just gonna keep going on, that's the best remedy for haters, is by not even acknowledging them. And I feel like that's the best way to live your life. But it's hard for a lot of people because you want to retaliate. You want to fuck them off. You want to say shit to them. You want to publicly do this and humiliate people through social media. But that shit is all dumbass fucking children shit. Don't put yourself to that. If you're over the age of 40 and all that, there's no need to be doing those stupid ass things. Fighting on social media is the dumbest thing in the world. You just look like a fucking child screaming for your lollipop. Man, fuck that shit. Don't worry about what these people say. Leave them alone. Best thing to do when you have a hater is show them that they didn't even affect you, and you're still gonna show them how amazing you are. Because that's exactly what's happened. This week has been one of those weeks where I've seen his haters turn against him and try to make his life worse. And I've seen him turn his haters to more hatred after he's shown them like, hey, you think I fucking need you, bro? Look what I'm doing. You couldn't do what I do. You don't have what I have. You see, you don't do what I do. You're not like me. That's why you hate me. You see what I'm saying? Like someone said the other day, you hate me because you see in me what you wish you were. And that's what it all boils down to. It's the same thing on here. It's the same thing on here. It's hatred and more hatred. I'll be cool with people in here, and then they'll turn on you on a dime. Boom. Just like that. And you ain't even done nothing. You're just trying to show them, hey, look, this is what I feel. This is my opinion. And then they're like, no, fuck you and your opinion. It's my way or no way, and fuck you. So you rather lose a good friend and a decent person in your life because you want to be ignorant and not take accountability for your stupid ass shit. So how does that make any sense in life? And then when you find yourself fiddling your thumbs talking to one or two people every fucking day of your life because you've ruined all your friendships and relationships, you're still going to say to yourself, it's not my fault. It's their fault. They're stupid, not me. I'm on a pedestal in my own little fucking world. Then you wonder why your life is all fucked up and all you do is complain. If you're complaining every day, you're the fucking problem. If you look for sympathy every day, you're the problem. If you look for attention every day, you're the problem. You might not want to hear what I just said, but it's the fucking truth. And I can prove it. My earlier life, Kitty said, Mark is always happy. You know why I'm always happy? 90% of the time? Because I'm not in a hospital bed. I don't have cancer. I don't have a disease. I'm not a fucking hater. My life is good. I don't really have much to complain about. As long as my mom and my family's good, I don't give a fuck about nobody else but myself and my family and my true friends. That's it. I don't give a fuck what you're doing. You know, we all complain. I complain about people every day, but I'm still going to be happy with my life because I know that what I'm doing is the right thing. You know. Well, when see that's another thing, you know. Yeah, I agree, Starlight. It is in the air a lot more now than ever, you know. Um you know what, Sophie? I just read what you said, right? And the thing is, you're not supposed to change yourself for everybody else's acceptance. That's what I meant to say. You're not supposed to change your ways to be accepted by others. The only person that you should look for acceptance of and accept in your life is God Himself and Spirit and you and your parents, your family, your children. Those are the only acceptance you need to a certain point. Not everyone. You see what I'm saying? You should always accept yourself for what you look like and what you are. And that's why most women change their looks and appearances because women are so fucked up to each other and so vindictive to each other. Because women can be very evil to each other because they see you and see how beautiful you are outside, and if you're not as beautiful on the outside, you might be super beautiful on the inside. So women are always going at each other more than men are because you are you're the main thing. Everybody wants a woman. Even women want women, but women have too much of a problem. They hate on each other so much. Even your own kind hating on you like that is fucking just oblivious to me. It's just weird. I don't get it. I don't hate on nobody. I could care less what you're doing. I've never been a hater. I've always been somebody who, if I look at you, I admire you. And if I hate you, it's because you're a dickhead. If you're a bad person, I don't like you. If you're a cocky bastard and you think you're better than everybody else and you're not kind and you're an idiot, I don't like you. I'm not going to like you because you're not a real person. You're just a show off. You're just a piece of shit that talks to hear yourself. You're a liar. I don't like people like that. I never have. But if you're a decent person, I'm going to show you how decent I am too. Yeah. That shit don't exist in my heart. I'm not like that. I've never been like a person to hate on somebody like and just be commenting on somebody's like looks or appearances. I do if I do it in a funny way or do it in a way where they diss me, I'll diss them back or something like that, but I don't know. It's just so weird. Exactly, Kimberly. That's just the way it is. Haters are gonna hate. It's just life. It's, you know what, Sophie, it's easy for her to say that because she wants people to be that way. But if she can't be that way and she's tried and she probably feels like all fucked up. But see, it doesn't matter. Look, I always, I never had this is a true story I'm about to tell you. Don't think I'm ignoring anybody in here, but I have to say this story before I forget. Because Sophie, you reminded me about something. In 2011, I was doing this big job and I was 260 pounds. And I said, Mark, you're living good. You're getting too fat. But I didn't have a problem getting women. Women was never a problem. I always had a woman will always like me no matter how fat I was, right? Because some women like big guys, right? So I always attracted women that wanted a big guy anyway. So I never had a problem getting a woman, even when I was 260 pounds. But in my mind was telling me, hey Mark, look, you're getting too big. You need to lose at least 60 pounds, get back to 200 where you were a couple years ago. You know, you're a solid dude. You're probably not gonna lose, like, if you lose some money, then, I mean, lose some weight, it'll be good for you. So I went on this losing weight spree and I said, I'm gonna get down to 200. It took me a whole year, right, to get to 200. The beginning of the year I was 260, end of the year I got to 200. This is 15 years ago, right? So I got to 200 and everybody's like, oh, Mark, you look great. Oh, you're sexy. Oh, yeah. Blah, 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 blah. And I got no coochie. No woman came to me no more. No woman wanted me no more. And I said, fuck, I thought if I was going to lose weight and look all nice, I began extra fucking women, extra coochie, extra everything. Women would love me even more because I'm looking damn good. You know what? It didn't work. I was single that whole year of losing weight, and the following year and nobody wanted me. Honest to God in heaven, I was baffled. I was like, here I am looking way better than I was, but when I was bigger, I got more women. This don't make no fucking sense. But you know what it was? It was a lesson that Spirit taught me and God taught me. No matter what you look like, always do things for yourself. Don't do it for somebody else. I gained 30 pounds back and I started having women attracted to me again. See how weird that is? So for you to say that woman had 10 surgeries so she can look less, so she can have less haters because she was fat. See what I'm saying? It still didn't make a difference because that life is not supposed to be about pleasing someone else. Life is about pleasing yourself, making yourself feel better. So if you lose weight, it should be for you, for your benefit. And even when you do, you should be like, I feel better, like, see what I'm saying? So I feel like that was the case, for me, and that was the case for that woman too. Where sometimes God tries to tell you, don't try and please everybody else. You got to please yourself. You got to do everything you do, you should do for you, not for anybody else. Because it didn't work. It so didn't work. And I was so mad because I worked so hard to lose that weight just to like be neglected by women because they were like, yeah, fuck you. You look too good now. You're going to be fucking cheating on me, motherfucking. No way. When you was big and fat, we loved you because we weren't running away with all that fat on you. Your fat ass weren't running from me. You know? So that's the thing. People are going to say whatever they want, whenever they want. But it's how you take their compliments. It's how you take their words. It's how you take what you say. You have to ignore their ignorance. You got to realize when someone talks shit about you, they hate you for who you are. You got me? They hate you for who you become. They hate you for how cool you are, how nice you are. They hate you not because you're fat or you're skinny or none of that bullshit or white or black or whatever. They hate you for your character, how you carry yourself, what you do. They look at the outside. They don't care about your insides. You know, people are fucking weird, man. But that's why you just can't pay that shit no mind, man. Don't worry about it. All right, let me catch up with what you guys said. Yeah, I agree with that, Gala. Someone has to give me a good reason before I get an attitude. Exactly. Like you push my buttons in long enough, I'm gonna fuck you off. That's gonna happen for sure. That's happened in here many a times. People know not to aggravate me. I agree, Starlight. It's not our thing. Yeah. No woman, no fry. Yeah, it's true. And men go for hoes because they're easy. They don't want to go through the relationship part. They just want some coochie and good night. That's why a lot of men have problems with women because some women are hoes and they just want that coochie and that's it. I agree with that too, Gala. Others can motivate you, but they can't keep your ultimate reason. Exactly. Yeah, people talk whatever. No, it don't matter. Exactly. You know what? I'll tell you something. I've always been the type of guy, right? And this is a true story. I don't tell lies on here, right? I've always been the type of guy to stay away from super good looking women, right? I don't want to be around super good looking women because they're trouble. Because when a super good looking woman is with you, and you can be a good looking guy too, or whatever, right? That woman can always say, I can get somebody better than Mark because I'm fine. I got a nice juicy ass, some nice boobies. My face is amazing. I'm still in my 40s. I look amazing. I got good money. I got a house. I got this. I don't need Mark. You see what I'm saying? I don't fucking need him. Fuck him. I'm super fine. So you think it ain't the other way around? I can get rid of your fine fucking model ass and go out with a fucking uglier woman than you and have a better life with her than you because you think that your looks is going to get you somewhere in life. It's who you are as a person, not what you fucking look like. If you get a woman that's super fine or a man that's handsome as fuck, that's a plus if they're good. But if they're not, they're going to be a nuisance in your life. So looks is not you know what looks is for me? It's the devil in disguise. That's what it is. Hey Goodman, how you doing, brother? Yeah, looks can be deceiving. Hey Lucky. Yeah, a lot of good looking people are insecure. I've met plenty of women like that and plenty of people like that. That's for sure. You know. You said I don't agree with you there. Looks doesn't mean ego. No, it doesn't mean that for everyone, but it does happen for sure. You know, I'm not saying every single. When I say things, I don't mean every single damn person in the world. I know people that happens that they're like that. You know, they think because they're like that they can do those things. Not everybody, obviously. Tanya, you're back. Tanya's on vacate. But that's the thing, you know. There's a lot of unfortunately, a lot of people think that they have to be good looking or or they have to have a certain, they think if they're not, more people that don't look good looking are more insecure than people that are good looking, in my opinion. I don't know if you agree with that, Gala. Or because you're sexy as fuck don't mean that, you gotta feel some type of way, all right, woman? Damn, Aries. See, Gala's a sexy Aries, you know? So that's why she's talking like that. See? Think I don't know. Okay? Yeah, I definitely good minute for sure. Well, there's a lot of people like that, Kimberly. I've heard a lot of stories of those people, that's for sure. Yeah, absolutely. That's my whole point is, Sophie, is that sometimes, attractive people are insecure or they're a bunch of fucking idiots. They think they're too good for you, right? Or you're not on my standards. And then you have some, not all, right? And then you have people who are average looking that do the exact same thing. They actually think that they might be average looking in the face and have an amazing body. And they use that body to attract people, you know? They might not be attractive. That's why I always tell people beauty's a light switch away. If they ain't that attractive, turn the lights off. Turn your lights down low. Da-na-na-na-na, so you don't have to see that hoe. Sorry. That's one of my famous songs. What attracts me to a person is how you bond together, how you interact with each other. You know what I'm saying? If if I'm attracted to the person, that's fine, right? But I can be attracted to you. I cannot be attracted to you, but I'll be so attracted to who you are as a person. So I say, you know what? She's not really my type, but fuck, I have a good time with her. She's so fucking cool, like. And I've had people like that in my life where, you know, like, you're not my type, sweetheart, but fuck, we get along. We're always laughing and talking shit. You read my mind, you know what I want, you know how, things are. So that's like a connection there that is fine with me. I can deal with that. Even a friend like that is fine, you know. Now I'm not gonna put a bag on her head. That's a little bit too bad. Unless it's Halloween. I don't want it to over scare people and shit. Oh yeah, the fakeness gets shown after a while. Sooner or later the fakeness will come out or your connection with them will be finished. It ain't gonna be worth anything really. But yeah, I agree. I agree, Starlight. A lot of people think that, I'm always gonna need somebody attractive in my life, but I feel like with most women are attracted to men who can make them laugh, who could build their confidence and make them feel like a real woman. That's what a woman really should want, and that's what most women want anyway. I feel like most women don't even care about how a guy really, really seriously looks because if a guy looks too good, then she's going to be insecure about him leaving her more than a guy would, in my opinion. Speaking as a man, I feel like that's the case majority of the time. And if you're a woman and you have a man that's friendly or talks to a lot of women, you're not going to want him. That's why I'm single. Because if I've said many a times and gave this example many a times, if my girlfriend walks through this door right now, right? She went out for girls' night. It's Friday night. She walks through that door. hey babe, how you doing? I was like, hey, how you doing? I don't like that babe shit, right? But I'm just giving you an example. It's like, hey Mark, you okay? Yeah, yep. How was your night? Good. Oh, you online? Yeah. And then she comes over, I give her a kiss, and then she's like, hey guys, how you doing? And then she goes upstairs and she gets changed. She comes back down and she's like in the kitchen or whatever. And I'm like, okay, good night, guys. Love you guys. You know, okay, yeah, kisses for you. Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, hi guys, how you doing? Okay, blah 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 blah. Or if she's an insecure woman, she's gonna be like, I don't like you talking to all these bitches online. You know, I read the chat. This woman said she likes you and you wear blue. Oh, this woman said that if you weren't with somebody, if you weren't with her, that they'll be with you. Oh, this woman said this. Or you called her sweetheart. Why? You know? You see, so if a woman sees shit like that, and she's insecure like that, I'm never gonna have nothing decent with her. But if I have an understanding woman saying, I already met you in this whole situation, I met you and you already was doing this. And she never even looks at my live and don't even care and knows that I'm not fucking nobody through this computer, then she's gonna be like, okay, cool. So I said, I'm looking up flights. But you see what I mean? I've explained that scenario plenty of times with everybody. Like when you like do work like this, it's very hard for a person to want you because then they're gonna think that you're reading their mind. You're shuffling cards to find out what they're doing. Like you're gonna feel a woman especially will feel if a woman being with a man psychic like me, like doing this type of shit, she's gonna always feel like fuck, I can't do anything wrong because Mark's probably gonna find out this bastard's good. He's gonna end up doing terror blackmail, like he says. I watched his lives talking about terror blackmail and this and all this bullshit and finding out that this person's fucking around. You know, that's gonna bother that woman to a certain extent. And then I can find somebody that it won't bother you at all. And you can be like, yeah, I'm good. I have nothing to hide from Marky. So if he does ask his cards or one of his psychic women on here, I ain't gotta worry about it because my conscience is clean. But if you're one of those sneaky hoes and you trick me and I find out shit or you know, shit like that, then hey, I'm gonna have my eye on your ass and it ain't gonna end well, will it? See what I mean? There's so many different things when you find a relationship because you gotta deal with that person and their life and vice versa. I can deal like say look how difficult things can be with your professions when you're together. So say I do this, right? And I DJ and I'm have my own business, right? That's what I do for real. So say if I end up dating a woman that's a masseuse and I know that she massages women and men. So my insecurities can say, you know what? I wonder if she gives these guys happy ends. I wonder if she flirts with the guys or, massages their nice fucking body and then she comes home to me and says, fuck, I was massaging a fucking 30-year-old. Here I am fucking coming home to this 50-year-old motherfucker. And I can do better than this. Or, he might be home talking to these fucking hoes online and, blah, 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 whatever. Just imagine having those type of professions and having to deal with those insecurities in your mind. And what if you both don't give a fuck and you don't have nothing on your consciences and your life is perfectly fine, where you don't even think about those things? You see how hard that will be to actually have both of you in sequence to not think the negative things? You see what I'm saying? You know how hard that is for a couple to endure? Because when some little thing happens, you're going to be like, so say if she says to me, I was watching your chat and this girl was complimenting you the whole time and you were like, hey, thank you, blah, blah, blah. You think I like that? That's fucked up. It's like you're cheating on me because you're flirting with other women. Then I can say, well, what about you, bitch? You're massaging some guy. You could be massaging somebody's D. I don't even know. Your door's fucking closed at your job. I don't fucking know. You could be doing fucking side jobs and giving men happy endings and making all this money, ho. I can say that to her in return as an insecure person, or trying to, make it seem like I'm covering up for my shit. You see how fucked up it is to have that, to even think that way. But that's how people are, though. That's how the world is. That's how people are in relationships. They're quick to blame each other. But in order to bring yourselves together and not even have that in your mind or your conscience is like one of the biggest blessings and secure relationships you can have with somebody. But to find somebody like that, it'll be a fucking miracle, believe me. Even a nurse or like a woman that is in public eye, and you're always gonna think like, what is she doing? Is she gonna cheat on me? And then they can say the same thing about you. Suppose I start doing readings full time and I have women coming into this house. They're gonna be like, oh, I can't. Ain't no women come around here to do the readings. Oh, hell no. I'm not her. So I don't want to come in and see no woman in this house talking to you and laughing with you and you reading them and they're gonna feel some type of way. I don't know, you might be one of those psychics that put some black magic on a hoe and she'll be dropping her panties for you. I don't know what you're doing around here. You see what I'm saying? It's so hard to find somebody in this day and age that will accept you 100% for what you do in your life. And that's why my sister got divorced with her husband, because he couldn't accept the fact that she was a sportsy person and she was at sports event. She was a soccer mom. She's a sports mom. She wanted to make sure her sons, were good at their sports and good in their thing. And she went to all these events and he was always working. So he felt disrespected because when he came home, she wasn't there. But what about before that, when you were working late and she was home waiting for you? You never think about the other person, did you? You see what I'm saying? So that's why relationships don't work, because it's always that one person out of both of you that think that, oh, they're gonna blame each other. Oh, but you're doing this. Oh, but yeah, but you do that. Oh, but you do this. But if you sat down and actually analyzed your lives, you wouldn't have these problems. And if you talk it out, you'd be fine. And you could have said, you know what? This day, and this day, we're not gonna do anything. We're gonna be together. I understand that other days are practice, games, this and that. You see what I mean? There's so much to having the almost perfect relationship with somebody. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying, because a lot of people don't understand what a relationship really consists of and how hard it is. You have to work every day to make it perfect. And the only way you can make it almost perfect is by communication and not thinking the worst of that person and what they're doing, especially if they were doing the things the way they were before they met you. So when you enter in someone's life, you either accept everything they do in their life and roll with it and not try to change it, or you just don't deal with them and you move on. Because if you try to change that person's ways to fit your way, it's not going to work. And that's why there's so much divorces and so much arguments in relationships today, because you can't accept the person that you fell in love with the way they were before you met them. And that's the fucking truth. That is the God truth right there. And that's why a lot of relationships do not last, because you can't accept that person you're with for who they are and who they become. And if that person wants to excel in their life, you don't want them to do it because you want them just the way you are for you. But it's not about you. You got me? So that's why, like, I don't understand why it's so hard for people to understand that if you love somebody that much and you want to be in a relationship with them, It's only gonna work if you do the things you have to do for each other. Hey, hey T Rose, how you doing? How was your dinner with your daughter? Yeah, I'm still on. Yeah, you got to say good night to me. Yeah, like Bruno says, just the way you are. Yeah, thank you, Sylvia. I'm glad you agree. And yes, Starlight, you have to let each other shine for who you are. But see, that's the problem. It's like I always said to myself, right? Oh, I never forgot you. I never said that. I never forgot you. I never said, hey, why you putting words in my mouth? Um, no, I don't. No, I don't really like Aries people like that. You're lucky I like you. Shit. Um, that's the thing. No, I wasn't thinking way. I always do that because I was talking about everything, and then I was like, oh shit. Because when I saw your handle there, you said, "Wow, you're still on," and I'm like, "Who the fuck's this?" I'm like, "Okay, yeah, it's T Rose." Yeah. No, I'll never forget your name. Don't take it personally, okay? Yeah, exactly. When there's no trust, there's nothing. But it's beyond trust for me. It's about allowing your partner to be more than what they really. If they want to be something, then you can be something. You know, like if I was with T Rose right now and she said to me, Marky, I'm going to dinner with our daughter, and um, we're gonna go to the game tomorrow and blah blah blah. I know you're busy, I know you're working or whatever, blah blah blah. And I'll be like, yeah, sure, no problem. Just do what you gotta do, sweetheart. I know everything's cool, you know. So if she trusts me to work and do my thing, and she's not mad for me not coming to my daughter's game with her, and she's cool with just them going, and my daughter's cool with it, then that's fine. But if there's a problem, then there's gonna be a problem. You create a problem because you didn't talk about it, or you say it's okay, but it's not okay. You see, a lot of people cover up what they really want out of their partner, and then they just let it slide. And then when you let that slide, you say it's okay. Indirectly you're saying it's okay, but you don't want to say nothing because you don't want to cause drama, or you don't want to, like, create a problem that doesn't exist. See, that's another thing that people do that irritates me. you know don't say it's okay when it's not. You gotta say it, like, we're talking about why relationships don't last, and how people are always getting hated on because or like disrespected if they're fat, skinny, they have blemishes, things like that. We're talking about those type of things. Yeah, her name is Markel, Marquisha, or Marlena. But that's the thing. A lot of people will never understand what a real relationship is because they keep everything bottled up inside of them. They never gonna say, "Hey, look, sweetheart, look, let me talk to you for a minute here. Look, this is bothering me. I think that we should do this way." And if they're like, "Okay, yeah, I understand, totally, we'll do it that way." But the first thing somebody's going, "What the fuck you talking about?" Especially if it's like, a weird person, like, But I can honestly say with a straight face that I've never seen my mom and dad try to change each other's life to benefit themselves. I've never seen my parents fight so much that they slept in different rooms. I've never seen my parents not talk about things and make and say, okay, we're going to do this or we're going to do that. You know what I'm saying? But my I've seen my sister and my and her ex-husband go at it, and how selfish he was to not allow her to be a mother to her children. She was so jealous that he was so jealous that He was so jealous of my sister's love for her children that he couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle that my sister loved those kids more than him. And rightfully so. Who fucking cares? If my wife loved those my kids more than she loves me, then guess what? I don't care. As long as you love those fucking kids, I'm happy because I love those kids and you the same way. But if you love somebody more than somebody else, who fucking cares? That's just the preference of that person. You got me? So that bothered his narcissistic ass because, as if to say, but you know, your life, if your wife has kids and your wife attends to those kids so much and she loves them so much, why the fuck you don't do the same? Why you don't do the same? You should love your kids just as much as your wife does. And then you should all love each other. But if you think that your wife loves those kids more than you have that in your beady little mind, then nothing's going to go right for you. Nothing. You're just going to be jealous of your own children and your wife. So when I saw that with him, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? You know, you don't make no sense, bro. And then when those kids were around me, they loved me more than they loved him. You know why they love me and they love your wife more? Because you don't do nothing with them. How is somebody going to love you if you don't put in the time? I rest my case. T. Rose, you said, can we at least have a honeymoon? Yeah, whenever you're ready. You know where I live. We can have the best honeymoon ever. Yeah, I agree. Old school is beautiful. I envy my mom and dad's life, and I want one just like it. But good luck. Good night, Kimberly. Absolutely, sweetheart. I agree. That's what you should do. Live your life. Don't worry about that person. Keep doing you. Now you don't have to be jealous. You know where I live too. First come, first serve. That's how I am. Ain't no damn Bahamas woman, Bermuda. You always talking about Bahamas. You're gonna be fucking lost. You're gonna be in Bahamas talking about I'm here. Meanwhile, you missed the damn airplane. You be going to the wrong country every day. If I'm your favorite Aquarius, how the hell you don't know where I live? Still talking about Bahamas. You ain't never heard me say Bahamas? Oh shit. Your honeymoon's in Bahamas. You don't even know Bahamas. Fuck Bahamas. Your honeymoon can be right here. Bermuda is the place people come to for a honeymoon. No damn Bahamas. Fuck Bahamas. I ain't going down there. I ain't going no damn Bahamas. I'm going to Bermuda. I'm gonna stay right here. This is the best place for a honeymoon. I know Bermuda like the back of my hand, so it'll be more of a better honeymoon because I can take you everywhere and do everything with you. And if you don't come, then Starlight is. And if you don't, and Starlight don't come, somebody else is. Where's my shorty? Shorty, you in here? Shorty, I ain't leaving you out. I got you. Don't let these women fool you. All right, my senorita. I know you're out there listening. He'll be there in the morning, Marquisha. Nah, Bermuda is definitely not a triangle. It's a beautiful place. Look, see, I knew she was here. Look, LOL here. Look, see, Shorty, don't worry about them. I got a place reserved for you, Shorty. Christy's my shorty, you know. She's my senorita. And then my wife is Claudia, as you know. Claudia's not here. She's on vacation. Claudia is my wife, you know, my online wife. So I have a wife, mistresses, and potential partners. So whoever gets here first, you know, that's how it works. You know, so T Rose says I'm the baby mama. Claudia's cool. I like Claudia. She's fun. She's a good woman. Everybody's trying to get me to marry Claudia. So everybody calls her my online wifey. So I call her wifey and she calls me hubby. And we've already been talked about already. I can't joke around with any woman. Everybody thinks I'm fucking them. It's just how it is on here. It's been that way forever. I don't want you in vain for your love. Well, like I told everybody, I ain't marrying nobody unless I live with them for at least 2 to 3 years. Cause ain't no woman gonna drive me crazy for the rest of my life after a year of knowing them. Now I need to get to know you. I need to live with your ass. I need to smell what you smell like. If you're fucking too much, I'm getting rid of your ass. And I need to find out if you're a decent person for a whole 2 years, 3 years before I even think about taking you to no altar in front of Jesus himself. Jesus be like, what the fuck you doing here, bro? No. You better get rid of that thing, mate. It ain't gonna work. Now, one thing about me, I'm smart. I want to live with somebody for at least 2 years before I get married. I need to know what you're like first. All right, my favorite Aries, baby mama. You take our daughter to her soccer game tomorrow and make sure Marquisha don't let in no goals and she wins, okay? You enjoy the rest of your weekend and your night. I know you put your dinner on my tab, obviously, or you must have took my credit card again. Typical woman. Meanwhile, Shorty says she don't want to wait in vain for my love. You ain't gotta wait. When you want me to give you the money for the ticket? Starlight's the furthest away. She's got to get two flights. Oh, you don't mess with married men? Thank God I'm not married. I'm not married. Don't believe anything you hear on here. This is for all entertainment purposes only. Starlight said in the future. Now I'm glad I can talk shit to you guys and have fun. I really do. I'm glad you guys don't take shit like, and tear the ass out of it like these other dumbass women that were on here back in the day. But you never know. Yeah, I got accused of having all these women. Meanwhile, everybody's like millions of miles away from me. Everybody talks to hear themselves. Blah, blah, blah. Mark's my man. And then nothing ever happens. Here I am, still single. Been on here for almost 7 years. I've had about 70 women tell me they're coming from Bermuda. I ain't seen nobody come to the airport yet. Everybody full of shit. I'm coming from Bermuda, Mark. Yeah. I'll wait for you. Here, I'm still fucking waiting. Yeah, all right. No problem, baby mom. Make sure Sunday you're good. Lobster on your table. Some potato salad. Just remember to open your legs at the end of the night. Yeah, we have to laugh. That's what I do all day. I love talking shit. You never know, Sophie. You never know. You never know who you're really talking to behind this computer. It could be somebody right here, right now. I don't know. They might be tricking me. You never know. Somebody might get brave one day and say, you know what? I want this damn mofo, you know. I really want his ass. I'm going to Bermuda, fuck it. What do I have to lose? You never know. I might get lucky one day. Good night, baby mama. Mwah. Hey, well, don't you ever see like these dating sites, when they say, if I'm taking a woman out to get lobster, she better be giving me that coochie when I get her. Lobster ain't cheap, woman. So indirectly, you want to pay for sex by giving her a lobster. That's how most men are. They feel like if they take you out to dinner, you got to open your legs at the end. Am I right? Yeah. I just want you to open up your mind and have some brains. You came at the right time, Fiona. See, but you don't like lobster, so that means your legs ain't opening. So you ain't got nothing to worry about. Fiona's like, lobster? No, no. Legs opening? No, no. Uh-uh. Shawty, what you laughing at, Shawty? Shawty's like, yeah, I ain't booking my ticket. I ain't waiting in vain for this mofo's love. Fuck him. It's all right, Shawty. It's all right. I gotta be funny, you know what I'm saying? I don't take shit like that, I always fucking have fun, man. I'm glad I have you women to talk to so we could talk shit and have fun and not take things, serious and be all like, it's hard for a guy to talk shit like me and women to be okay with it. I mean, I'm not doing anything wrong, in my opinion. Flirting and talking shit is fine. It's nothing wrong. If you're single, I find nothing wrong with it. I'm not going to be talking shit to you if you're with somebody, obviously. I respect people. I respect women who have men and husbands and shit. I won't be talking shit to them, obviously. Yeah. But if I know you're single, I'm going to talk shit to you for sure. You know what I'm saying? Totally right. As long as you guys don't mind, I'll keep doing it. It's funny. But you never know. Like Sophie says, somebody might show up here and be like, hey guys, I'm so-and-so. I'm so-and-so in the chat. I'm here with Marky. You mofos lost out. Tell you I was coming. You thought I was bullshit. You never know. Still waiting for a couple of them that said they was coming. I'm still waiting. Some of them might even offer to pay for their ticket. Or I told them, if you get here, I can do the rest. I've always invited everyone to come here. Yeah, anybody can come here. I always tell everybody, if you come to Bermuda, let me know. And if you don't want to let me know, that's fine. But if you let me know, I will gladly find you a place. I would gladly help you. I would gladly, feed you, take you places. I can take time off to show you around. I have no problem. You never have to worry about me doing anything that, anything bad to you, because I'm not that person. I will make your stay here very wonderful. You'll have a great time. I'm not, gonna sit there and be like, okay, I took you all over the place. Now open your legs. I'm not like that. I talk shit like that, but I'm not like that. Yeah, I can do that. I can make the wedding live. That's cool. I'll get somebody to film it. I'll go live and say, everybody, I'm here. I'm handing the phone over to so-and-so. They're gonna take they're gonna do the live. Look, Shorty says you make it sound so easy, but it is. It is very easy. If you right now said to yourself, I'm gonna go book my ticket, I'm gonna go spend some time with Mark for a week. I don't have to you don't have to be with me every day. You can go do your own thing. And then you'd be like, hey Mark, well I'm not doing anything tonight. You wanna go hang out? Yeah, sure. Whatever. It's not a problem. It is that easy, you know. I'm here every night talking shit. So what's the difference? If you come here or anybody comes here, any of you can come here. And I'll be like, hey, what you up to tonight? Okay, look, let's go. We're gonna go here or whatever. You can come over to my place, I'll cook you dinner, or we can go see the Crystal Caves, we can go to the beach, we can go to the city, I'll show you some places, I'll show you some sightseeing places, I'll show you places that whatever you want to go to. What's so hard about that? It's just two adults having fun. And then you're gonna have a tour guide. That's all. I ain't gonna hurt you. So I do make it sound easy because it is. That's big. What else, what's so hard about that? If you wanted to come here for a vacation and hang out with your friend Mark, what's so hard about that? What's so bad about that? You see what I'm saying? So really, it is easy. Yeah, she came in and Dan was pulling it for 45 years. Nah, they won't be crying. They'll be happy for me. I don't look at it like that, you know. At the end of the day, um, you know, I don't mind being everybody's friend. I don't mind if four of you came here in the next month, I would treat you all the same. I would take you wherever you want to go, show you places, do whatever, you know. We can be friends. We can see how it goes. I'm not expecting to fall in love with you within a week. We're not gonna get married when you come here in a week, you know? Some people think that's probably what I'll do, but I'm not that type of person. I never have been. Like I've said on here, I mean everything I say. I need to get to know you in order to be with you. Yeah. Now, if you're a hoe and you want to come here and open your legs and give me whatever, that's on you. That's up to me to take it. But if you're not like that, then that's even better. That just shows me what type of person you are. So it's still going to be up to me and you what we do. And what stays in Bermuda, you know, stays in Bermuda. What happens in Bermuda stays in Bermuda. I won't come in here and tell nobody nothing. No, Christy says she's a shouty. Christy says she's a shouty. She's not told. Right, shorty? Christy's like, I'm not waiting in vain for your love, Mark. Keep quiet. It's all good. I would never pressure anybody to come here without their own consent. I'm not the type of person to beg people to come here or beg someone to come here. That's not who I am either. But like I said, we'll keep it positive. You know, my shorty said that I make it sound so easy. Yeah. And she don't want to wait in vain for my love. See, they're always making excuses to not come here. Then I had some people say, fuck that, the Bermuda Triangle. No, no. Chrissy said, be right back. Booking my flight real quick. Ha. Oh man, that shit's funny. Now, honestly, I wish I had a private jet. I've said this like a million times. I wish I had a private jet and I can pick everybody up and we all can have a great time. I really wish that that can happen. I wish I was a billionaire and I would say, all right, guys, who's serious about coming here? Because I got a private jet. I don't want to waste no time and energy and gas. Can you be ready in 2 days? You can't? All right, well, be at the airplane. You're going to see a plane come in. It's white and it's got a green stripe on it and black letters. It's going to say Marquis Express. You tell them that you're going there. I'll call the people, tell them you're going to come out there. Right here, bang. Yeah, we can do that too. A cruise ship vacation. I've never been on a cruise ship before. That works. Yeah. Cruises are a lot more expensive though. That's the problem. It's like the average cruise price is like 2,500 to 5 grand to be on a cruise for a week. That's fucking ridiculous. Fuck no. Unless you got a cheap cruise. But you don't want to go on a cruise now anyway. They're talking about the that disease, that virus is that going around. I don't want to be caught up in that shit. But I wish we could do that. I wish I had a cruise boat and I can lock it off for all of us. We can just have fun on that. But if you come to Bermuda, you can go on a little mini cruise boat and go around and do a tour. We have tons of those. Just got to pray for good weather. A Golden Girls cruise. Sounds like fun. That means they must have golden coochies on there. Book me in if I can go. Golden Girls. I used to watch that show. That shit was funny. Yeah, I know. I'm only teasing. I used to watch that show religiously. Blanche. Was it Blanche? Blanche was the one I used to like. She was funny as shit. Is it Blanche? Is it Blanche? Oh, Blanche. Is it Blanche? I can't remember. Dorothy, Sophia, and Blanche was a tramp. Yeah, that's why I like her. She was the funny ass tramp with the short hair. Well, they all had short hair. And then it was Betty, right? Betty, Blanche, Dorothy, and Sophie. Or, yeah, Betty, right? Wasn't Betty Rose or something like that? Or Dorothy? I don't know. The tall one was like super manly. She scared me. Yeah, Betty was Rose. Yeah. I forgot her name was Rose, but yeah, Betty was the one. She was funny as shit. She was like the drip. Yeah, Dorothy, she was fucking nuts. She scared me. I was like, damn, this woman is like a man. Yeah, the manly one. She honestly looked like a man. Yeah, the old lady was funny as shit. The one with the glasses, the mama. I think she was Dorothy's mom or something like that. She was so funny. She would diss the shit out of him. Mark, I checked out every language last night. And like Nigeria cursive oil. Yeah, I believe that, Starlight. I definitely believe that. But you know what? All this like diseases and shit, they've been talking about that shit ever since COVID. Monkeypox and this and that and this fucking virus, that, and that's all bullshit. Everybody gets sick with something. They just invent bullshit. It's all fear based and everybody gets sick. People get colds all the time. That's exactly what it is. There's nothing special about none of these things. It's all a bunch of bullshit. In my opinion, that's what it is. Just like COVID was. To me, it was all bullshit. It's all a money making scheme at the end of the day. That's what I feel it is sometimes. But I don't know. I feel like I don't have to worry about those things. I feel like if I believe in spirit and God, I won't get those type of diseases or viruses. I feel like they'll keep me away from that situation. So yeah, you know. Yeah. The scamdemic. A lot of people like, will fight you on those things and talk about how they had it and how bad it was and blah blah blah. You know what? When you get food poisoning, what happens to you? It comes out of everywhere, right? So I've had food poisoning like 3 times in my life, and that was like the worst sickness I've ever had in my life. Worse than any COVID or worse than anything else I've had. That's all I gotta say. So what do that is it really food poison, or is it one of these fucking viruses or bullshit? Like people just put names on whatever. Yeah, I like Blanche. I know she was a hoe. But I used to like her on the show. She was funny. What was I gonna say? A show I really liked a lot was Three's a Company. I used to love Three's a Company. That shit was so funny. It was Jack, and it was like the old guy next door, the neighbor, and he was always like paranoid, and the two chicks. Man, that was like one of my favorite shows ever. I used to religiously watch that just to laugh. Like, yeah, Mr. Farley, yeah. And Jack was my mate. I used to love him. He was fucking funny. And the two girls, I can't remember, but I knew what they remember what they looked like. Yeah, three's a whatever it is. Yeah, what did I say? I can't remember what the fuck I said. But anyway, yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, Janet and Chrissy. Fiona, you got a good memory. Shit. That's right. Janet and Chrissy. Yeah. Yeah, I used to watch those shows. I used to watch Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Um, I watched The Golden Girls, Three's a Company. I watched The Young and the Restless a lot because my mom always watched Young and the Restless. Oh my God. um, I used to watch all the soap operas because my mom was always watching them. Bold and the Beautiful, fucking As the World Turns. General Hospital was one of the most famous ones when we were growing up. We would come home from school and my mom would be like, turn on the TV, General Hospital's on. I need to watch that. It's very important today. I was like, oh God, we gotta watch this fucking bullshit. I knew all the character, all the people. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? And then at nighttime I think it was on Friday night or something like that. It was the what's the cowboy guy? What was his name again? Fuck man. We used to watch that shit. Was it Dallas? It was called Dallas or something like that. Where it had the guy with the yeah, Dallas, yeah. I never really watched Cheers. I thought that was bull. I thought I didn't really like Cheers. Dallas I watched. Magnum PI was a must. Yeah, yeah. I used to watch the what you call it. I used to watch Dallas Jr. Yeah, I remember he told that hoe that time. He said something to her. Fuck that shit was funny. Oh, you know what else I watched religiously was Dukes of Hazzard. That was probably one of my favorite shows ever. Me and my sisters and brother we used to watch that shit every time. Even my dad watched that shit. He used to laugh. Dukes of Hazzard was probably my favorite show. Now that I think about it, Dukes of Hazzard was my favorite. Definitely, I would have to say Dukes of Hazzard was by far my favorite show of all time when I was young. I used to love that shit. Yep, the Love Boat. The Love Boat was pretty cool. I used to watch that shit too. Dynasty, I can't remember. I can't remember what Dynasty was. But Dallas, I remember. We watched that shit all the time. Murder She Wrote. Yep, I used to watch that. I used to watch Murder She Wrote. What's her name? Columbo. I used to watch that every now and then. Saved by the Bell. I watched that, but back in the day, my sister used to watch that bullshit, and I used to have no choice but to watch that shit. Tour of Duty, the A Team. I used to watch those things all the time too. Blue Thunder, Airwolf. Those are my favorites. Airwolf was probably one of my favorites too. And then you had MASH, like all the like army ones and all the like men type of, fighting shit. I used to watch all of that shit. Family Guy. I used to watch Bart Simpson. I used to watch that. I used to watch Family Guy every now and then. Yeah. It was fun. I used to watch He Man and the Masters of the Universe. That was my favorite cartoon back in the day. When I was like a teenager, like probably like 12 years old, I used to watch a cartoon called Gargoyles, and that was probably one of my favorite. Um, that was probably one of my favorite cartoons when I was a teenager. It was Gargoyles. I used to watch that religiously too. I used to know what time it came on, what day it came on. Fucking hell. But now I don't really watch too much things on TV now. I just watch sports. The only like thing that I watch otherwise sports is wrestling. I'll watch wrestling sometimes, when it's decent, when it's a main event. Like I said, I watch sports nonstop. I don't really watch movies like that. Not anymore. I don't really watch like mini series or my sister and my nephews, they love watching those things on Netflix and shit. But I'm not really, you know, I'm not really into watching those type of fucking things. I don't really like it that much. Yeah, Gargoyles is fucking amazing. I used to love watching that. Yeah, I used to watch MASH, Fiona. Yeah, Dallas was fun. I used to watch that all the time, JR and all that. And then I can't remember. There's actually a scene that they put out there with him dissing the shit out of this woman, calling her a hoe and shit. I remember Falcon Crest. Yeah. A Team definitely was so cool. And Tour of Duty. I don't know if you guys remember that one. There was so many mini series and like TV shows back then. It was crazy. So many back then, man. It was like one right after the other, after the other, after the other. Like you just knew what was coming on next. I don't know if you guys remember. I was probably like in my, late teenage years. I think it was that what was that show that came on? It was like a detective show. I think it was called CIA or something like that. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like a detective show that came on very, very late at night, like 11 o'clock at night. I could have sworn it was called CIA or something like that. CSI. That's what it's called. I fucked up. I thought it was CIA. It's CSI. Yes. X Files, CSI. Yeah. They came on right one after the other. Yep. That's another show I used to watch a lot of times. That used to come on like really, really late, like after a basketball game. It would come on in Bermuda like around 11 or 12. And I used to be like watching that shit before I go to sleep. I'll be like, oh yeah, this is getting interesting. Oh, they're gonna find out who murdered this mofo. Like shit like that. I've never really been a Baywatch fan. I never really watched that shit. To be honest, I like the guy that was in Baywatch. He used to be in that. His first ever show was the Knight Rider. I don't know if you guys remember that guy that did Baywatch. The guy that was the main guy character in Baywatch. He used to do the Knight Rider. He used to have the black car, and he was called Knight Rider. I don't even know. I can't even remember that guy's name. Yeah, that guy. Because when he went to Baywatch, I'm like, this guy went fucking downhill, man. This mofo went from Knight Rider to Baywatch. Damn it. Fuck. I don't watch this shit. Everybody watched Baywatch because of Pamela Anderson, but she's never really. When I saw Pamela Anderson's um, porn video that time with that guy she was with that beat the shit out of her afterwards, can't remember that jackass that she did the porn video with. I remember somebody sent me that shit because yeah, look at your friend. I said that ain't my friend. It's like yeah, look at this dumbass bitch. She went and got a. I can't remember the name of the guy she did the porn film with that she got in trouble with and all that, and he beat the shit out of her afterwards. I can't remember what the name of that guy is. Pee Wee's Playhouse. La la la, connect that's that fucking ass. MacGyver was cool. I used to love MacGyver. I used to watch that all the time. What you laughing at, shawty? I thought you was gone. Or you're back from ordering your ticket or what? I be bullshitting. I used to do Pee Wee's voice all the time. Honest to God, I used to do his voice all the time. I used to mock the shit out of him. Hey kids, let's go put some tinfoil in my tinfoil bowl. La, connect that. A fucking nuisance. And it was Cowboy Curtis. They used to come up there. Hey, Pee Wee. Hey, Cowboy Curtis. I used to watch that shit all the time. Even though it was like kind of weird, I used to watch it though. I ain't gonna lie. It was fun to watch. It was like always some next bullshit he did. I used to do all those voices, man. Honest to God, with my nephews, I was telling my mom the other day, and she was laughing like crazy because I'm good at doing voices, right? That's another thing I do a lot is people's voices and shit, right? Like I do the woman on here's voice, the rat and the smoking voice chick with the popsicle sticks. I diss the fuck out of her. I do her voice perfect. But you know who else I used to do is Elmo. My nephews used to love that little red bastard. Elmo. I used to do all that shit. Elmo. I used to do all that. Elmo. And I used to do his voice and shit, and all the kids used to laugh. Like Uncle Mark, you do his voice perfect. I can't do it right now because I need to drink some water and clear up my throat. But when I get my voice like properly, I can do his voice like perfect. You would think I was the fucking Elmo person. I used to like take the Elmo. They used to one of my nephews, I think it was my brother's boy. He had the actual like Elmo teddy bear thing, and I used to go like this. I used to put him like in front of me, and I used to do his voice like that, and they used to all fucking crack up, and they would laugh so much. They were like, and then when their mom or their dad would come pick them up, they were like, Uncle Mark did Elmo's voice. He does the voice. He's just like Elmo, and they'll be all cracking up and shit. I did Elmo's voice perfectly back then. I did Pee Wee's voice. I did Dora the Explorer. Oh my god. I used to do her all the time. I used to mock the shit out of Dora. And I used to do a lot of other voices too. I can't remember who else I used to do. But my nephews, they'd be in stitches laughing at me doing all the voices. I used to love watching this. Oh, SpongeBob. I used to do his voice and Patrick's voice. Patrick and SpongeBob. I used to watch that shit with my nephews all the time. I used to hate that fucking cartoon. And then I used to start mocking them. And then they used to be like aggravated so much from me mocking them that they didn't want to watch it no more. I'm like, yes, I can't stand SpongeBob, fucking SquarePants, little yellow fuck. I can't stand that shit. That was like the worst cartoon they could have made for children because they get addicted to watching that trash. And all they do is scream and shout. And I'm like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. Like he'll be getting chased all over. And he'd be like, ah, and then the other one would be like, ah. It'll be like a whole 5 minutes of fucking screaming. And I'm like, oh my God, well, how could you guys watch this trash? I tried getting them to watch some of my cartoons, but they weren't interested. I was like, yeah, you know why? Because all this shit's whack now. These cartoons are fucking trash. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I need to go get my ass to sleep. He never caught it, but he definitely he tried. That's for sure. It was just like Sylvester always caught Tweety, but something else would happen. And with some Tom and Jerry, those two used to beat each other up and shit. My favorite was that stupid ass rooster. The rooster was the best. That rooster jackass, him and the fucking dog. He used to slap the shit out of the dog, and then the dog used to slap the shit out of him. And that shit was funny, yeah. I used to crack up when watching that shit. If I need a good laugh, I just go on TikTok. TikTok has so much funny shit. It's like, what the hell are these people doing? I can't believe how funny TikTok is. There was like this 300-pound woman, and she dressed up as Dora the Explorer, and she was like going around, like she was like talking like Dora, and she was like dancing around, and then she tripped and fell, and it was like the funniest shit in the world. I was like, you fucking idiots. And they said something about like because she was a big chick, they said she was Dora something. I was fucking dying. Honestly, when I need a good laugh, I just go on TikTok and look at bullshit. It's so funny. That's the only reason I'm on there laughing at shit. My nephews send me funny ass videos, or I'll find videos and send it to them. Man, it's funny, man. It's the funniest shit ever. If you want a good laugh, go on TikTok. All the AI videos they have of cats. Like there's a video of this cat, right? He's at the table, and there's a Chinese guy, right? And he has like four pieces of fish on the table, and the cat's going like this, right, to try and get the fish, and the guy slaps the cat on the head, right, and the cat get goes like this, and he gets off the chair and he comes back up with his bowl, like the silver bowls that they eat out of. He takes the bowl and smacks the fucking guy in his head, knocks him over, and grabs the fish and walks off. It's fake, right? But it's like an AI video. It looks so real, and it's so fucking funny. It's probably the funniest shit ever. It's so funny. All right, good night, Sophie, Starlight, Fiona, Christy. I think that's all of you that are in here. Starlight, Christy, Fiona, Sophie. There's four of you in here, right? Right now. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. You guys have a wonderful weekend if I don't see you. I'll be here tomorrow. It's supposed to rain tomorrow here, so it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna go get my ass to sleep. My eyes all itching and shit. So I'll be here tomorrow. I'm gonna be here like pretty much all day. I might go visit my mommy. I might take her to the farmer's market tomorrow. I'll see how, if the weather's shitty, I might not be able to, but we'll see. If you see me on here tomorrow, you know it's raining or something, but whatever. All right, Shouty. Let me know when you want me to go to the airport and put up the sign with your name on it, okay? All right, ladies. I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.